Shh, it's very, very early. Pitch black outside. I got a long drive this morning, heading out fishing. Joel is still sound asleep in bed. He's not coming with me, he's got to work today. What are we now? 2 days before Christmas. So I'm taking one of his buddies, Donnie Stahlberg, and we're gonna go try to catch speckled trout on topwater baits. 2 days before Christmas. Kind of crazy. But temperatures really warmed up last night. It's been cold here for days. Big hard front a couple days ago. But I'm hoping those flats have warmed up enough to have those fish moving up and looking skyward to feast on some mullet. If it doesn't happen, we're gonna throw twitch baits, see if we can get some bites that way. That may not happen. We may have to resort to throwing some corks, maybe some tight line soft plastics, but I think we can find some speckled trout. And if we don't, I know we can find some redfish. Conditions are supposed to be pretty good today, not a lot of wind. And man, the fishing has just been top notch. I'm really excited about today's trip, no doubt, but I got some work to do. All right, so if the early bird gets the worm, guess what? Donnie and I are about to feast because we beat the rush. I mean, literally, we were the first boat to launch at the boat launch. And it's almost pitch black out here. Got a little bit of sun starting to brighten that eastern horizon. But look, the water at the marina looked absolutely horrible. I mean, terrible. We had 2 days of fierce west winds here, and it dirtied everything up. Water's really low. We ran into a cove hoping to catch some topwater fish. Now, it's a long shot. Look, I'll grant you that. It's a long shot. The water in here, I don't know what it looks like. It's too early to tell, but it's 55 degrees. I like that for big trout, not so much for those smaller trout. But I'm gonna take one for the team and throw a topwater bait, whereas Donnie's gonna throw a subsurface twitch bait. We'll see if we can get any bites at all. I can tell you, I have seen a little bit of bait along the shoreline just while we've been sitting here. We'll know soon enough. If we can't catch them here, I'm pretty sure we can find some fish somewhere today. All right, so what I would suggest with that thing, have you ever fished it? You just bought it, huh?
I never fished one.
Cast this way. I wouldn't cast toward the shore. I'd cast out this way and just kind of twitch it, let it sit, twitch it, let it sit.
Okay.
I'll be very curious to see what this water looks like. Yeah, water clarity is going to be the deciding factor today for trout. I think we can find some good water for bass and reds, but all the reports I got yesterday, water was horrible.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, look at the exposed bank. This water's low. That means those fish might have pulled off the shoreline. They might be out in the middle of this cove. This episode of Marsh Man Masson brought to you by Puglia Sporting Goods. Definitely seeing some bait. Not seeing many explosions though. But you wouldn't expect to, 55-degree water. Hey, what's that depth finder say?
1.7.
Good God.
Yeah,
that's killing us. 1.7, that's almost a waste of time.
1.5, 1.6.
That's killing us. All right, you know what? Let's punt. I don't have any confidence in that. Let's go before this wind gets too hard. There's an area I want to go fish. All right, so spot number one did not work out. The water was just too low in that cove. We had maybe 1.5 feet of depth, and that's just not enough for this topwater fishing. So we've come into a different cove, and the good news is the water is spectacular. Really, really pretty. Now, it's only 53 degrees in here, so it's not exactly topwater temperature, but I'm still sticking with it, hoping to catch a big fish, and Donnie's sticking with the twitching minnow. Nothing else, we can probably throw some corks and catch some fish in here. So we're gonna make a long drift. You see that point, this over here? We're gonna head in that direction, so I just kind of cast in that open water. A little hint of a sunrise. It's pretty. I think you're gonna find them with that before I find them with this. I mean, what we're doing is really targeting bigger fish. Like this isn't, not to say you couldn't catch an 11-incher on that, but I mean, if we just wanted to catch fish, we'd be throwing corks. But, you know, you got legitimate chance of catching a 4 or 5 pounder doing what we're doing. We are going to find fish today. That's a guarantee. Yeah, they don't. It's like a stick moving through the water. I mean, back in the day, they were great because we had so many more fish.
it just didn't matter. You throw anything, they were going to hit it. But tail action makes such a big difference now. And that's really the secret of the matrix shad, is that tail action. It's just fantastic. I'll tell you what sucks. We're gonna have 2 beautiful fishing days this week. Christmas Eve and Christmas. And then after that, it's gonna be terrible.
Oh yeah, I saw. I'm looking for forecast.
I was hoping to go Thursday. They got a 100% chance of rain on Thursday. Well, it feels to me like we're trying to force something that isn't here. I really thought we'd at least catch them on course. That tide may be dead. Let's go see if we can find it. We'll go jig some bayous, maybe catch some trout. One bayou I got in mind. We'll hit it first for trout, and then if we strike out there, we'll go run into another bayou and try and catch some bass and reds. All right, so Donnie and I punted on fishing the flats. Water's just too cold, just not enough happening up in that shallow water. It may happen there later in the day, but the water's just gonna get lower in those flats with this hard falling tide. Just now started to fall, but man, it's rolling out of this bayou. So we've come to fish deep, trying to catch some speckled trout. I really still like our chances, but I've never caught trout in this stretch ever, but I've passed over here and it's got some nice deep water, so we're gonna see if we can persuade any to bite. I tell you, I'd love to sit here and just catch 50 trout. That's what I would love. You feel like you're getting down?
Yeah, I saw something pull on the bottom over there.
Well, that's a good sign. I got a scale. I just had a fish.
Oh man.
That's a good sign.
I'm sure we're gonna catch something.
Oh yeah, we will. We'll find something. This hard falling tide and pretty water. We'll find some fish. This may not be silver. All right, there's a fish. You lost yours? I think I got a red, but I don't think he's big. I'm right. Little red. All right. It's an icebreaker at least. Donnie missed fish number 3. Oh, right through the eye.
Oh man.
Hate to do that for a little fish. See you, dude. All right, at this point, Donnie's wondering why he got up so early. We don't have a fish in the boat. We've each missed a couple of fish. Well, actually, that's not true. We do have a juvenile redfish, catch and release. We don't have a fish with us that we're taking home. So I think we might punt on the trout. I don't know if they're just not feeding or if we haven't run across any yet. I think it's probably the latter. We could probably just keep working and find some fish. But I'm very confident we go catch some bass and reds. And we're close to the area that we want to do that in. So I think we're going to do that for a little bit at least. But I don't think we've pursued our last speckled trout of the day. Kind of just have them on the brain. So we'll see. But right now, it's bass and reds. This episode of Marsh Man Masson brought to you by Matrix Shad. And by Fitzgerald Fishing. And by Cito New Orleans. And by Versamax Corks. And by Death Grip Jig Heads. So I'm starting with an avocado matrix craw simply because it's what I got on. And Donnie is throwing a June bug speedworm, but the water in here is not that pretty. It's okay, it's fishable, but I'm hoping it clears up as we get deeper and deeper into the marsh. Bucking the tide and the wind. We gotta find a Trinaz strain in some clean water. Redfish. It's on that speedworm. All right, if you land him, Donnie, it's our first keeper of the day. I don't want to put pressure on you or anything. Let me know if you need some help. Oh yeah, good fish.
He barely hit it.
Yeah. He was right in that Trinaz?
Yeah,
right in that drain.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, you hooked him under his throat, huh? If I was a nice guy, I'd get a net. All right, there we go. Redfish fishing 101, right? Hit a drain when the tide's falling. Well, the fact you hooked him outside the mouth indicates he probably checked it out decided against it. Not a great sign. We got south wind. Oh, we got south wind, falling pressure, cloudy skies. Got a lot of stuff working for us. I hope y'all got more than we do.
No, my trolling motor broke.
Oh, that sucks.
Todd Masson?
Yeah.
Marsh Man, what's going on?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Good, man. I love your channel, but we love your videos.
Thank you, man.
I watch y'all every week. I watch your videos.
I appreciate that.
I thought that's who it was when I seen you. That's awesome.
I hope y'all catch some, man. We're struggling. It's tough today.
Yeah, I noticed not many people caught anything yesterday. I figured today might be a little different.
Conditions are too good not to be catching them. They're going to turn on at some point.
All right, nice meeting y'all. Y'all have a good
See y'all later. Yeah, we're not even catching the small reds, and that's really unusual. You got a fish? Looking redfish, yep. What was I saying? We're not even catching the small reds. I tell you what, he's got a shot. I'd put him on the tape. I'm thinking he's 15. I don't think he's gonna make it, but try him. Yeah, I don't want you to measure him. Don't keep me! Don't keep me!
Oh man, I'm sorry, dude. Nah,
he's not gonna make it. Nope.
All that working off.
At least you got to fight him.
Yeah.
All right, this tough day is just getting tougher. I don't know what's up. We're having trouble catching fish. We've got a few on the boat. Water's dirty. That's probably hurting us more than anything. It's definitely falling hard. Donnie and I made a big run to come to a different area looking for some pretty water. It looks to be a little bit better in here, but still not great. But here's the big limitation for the day. My trolling motor batteries are crapping out. I don't know what's up. They're a little bit over 2 years old. They shouldn't be dying yet, but they are dying. So that's really gonna limit what we can do today. The deck is stacked against us, that's for sure, but we're gonna hopefully catch some fish to close out this day.
All right, far better water than what we left. If this battery will allow us to fish, we're gonna catch some fish. There's one. Get him, Donnie. Another red? I'm not sure he's a keeper. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say not a keeper. But it's a start. All right, there's a fish. He came up and jumped, but I think he's a little red. He is a bass. There we go. All right. All right, that's what we need, is to find that prettier water.
Oh yeah.
Whoo, this fish is cold. I can't believe this motor is dying. Oh, that sucks. I had no hint of that on my last trip. And I'm faithful about charging my batteries. I charge them immediately when I get home. They say if you let them sit on charge, they don't last long. I don't know how you, like, people fish without a trolling motor. Like, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it. Oh, God. Another bass. Man, did he tattoo it. All right, that's a good fish. It's a pretty bass.
I love those bass.
I do too. So spunky. I love these fish. Salvaged many a day for me. It sucks, man. We're like sitting in one spot. I just can't move. And I can't, like, I don't want to run back there with the big motor, you know, and then have to fish everything we ran over. Well, we're definitely able to work everything thoroughly. I tell you what, we're lucky it's calm. No trolling motor and it windy, we'd be in trouble. There he is. Oh. I think it might be. Now he came up, it's a bass. All right. It's actually a nice bass. Just a fatty. Well, we're salvaged in the day, despite our severe handicap. Hey, if you see me hook one, throw right, there we go. is. They're right. Oh, I lost him. They're right there. He wasn't that big, but I'd still like to have him. There he is. Throw in there, Donnie. Another bass that stayed down. Oh, Todd. That was a bass, 100%. It's kind of ironic. I saw that guy earlier, and he said his trolling motor died.
Yeah, I know.
And now mine dies. There he is. And it's feeling red like. We'll see in a minute. Yep, juvenile red. Yeah, you know what? He might make the cut. It's gonna be borderline. He's kind of long and skinny. Give me your guess, Donnie. Legal or not?
I'm gonna say yeah.
Phew, man, he's gonna be close. I don't know what I want to bet. I'm gonna bet he's legal.
He looks like he's a long guy.
Donnie, he's 16 3/4. Legal fish. I tell you what, given our limitations, we're catching a few fish. So I'm throwing this black light. You know what it is. You've seen any previous videos, you know what it is. It's a black light Zoom z-craw Junior. Love this bait. Shouldn't really be used in water that's this pretty, but it works. What can I say? Donnie was throwing a June bug red speed worm, but he has switched over to an H&H gold spinner Colorado blade with a matrix shad soft plastic to try and put some fish in the boat quickly, because we've got limited time with this motor about to die, and it is truly on its last legs. I've got it cranked all the way up and we're just barely crawling. Now we are fighting the tide, so fortunately we'll be able to drift out of here with the tide, fish in the same water we already fished, which isn't ideal, but at least we'll still be fishing. You usually have to overcome some kind of adversity on the water, whether it's dirty water, wind, gnats, whatever. Today, our biggest limitation is this, here we go. Oh, you missed it. Is this dead trolling motor battery. So we just gotta make the most of it. Wow. You give them 5 minutes, Todd, they tend to spit it.
Run away.
There he is. He got the bass. Good job, Donnie.
Thank goodness.
He took it deep, too. There he is. Another bass. It ain't coming. Idiot. My bad.
It's all right.
They don't seem to want the twitching mullet today. I was saying. Oh, he threw it.
Oh, I saw it.
He threw it. Doesn't say much for these single hooks. You know what BOAT stands for, right? Break out another 1,000.
Oh, yeah.
There's always some expense, always. Yeah, I'd literally rather fish with my right hand tied behind my back than without a trolling motor. Literally. Of course, how would you reel with your right hand tied behind your back? I guess you could hold the rod, you could set the hook, put the rod between your legs,
I saw one dude
and reel. Well, might be red. Is he coming up? Get him, Donnie. Redfish. Donnie's a redfish man. That's a keeper, 100%.
I wasn't losing that one.
Good job, Donnie. So Donnie does a lot of fishing off of land, and he had some pretty decent success. And we were talking about it on the way out this morning. And really, in my estimation, one game fish off the land is equal to 25 in a boat. It's literally that much more challenging when you're fishing off the land. You're just so limited. And fishing off the land, much more so than fishing out of a boat, is all about timing. You gotta be in the right spot when something is happening. I mean, it's true in a boat as well, but in a boat you can move until you find the right spot for that specific condition. There he is. There he is. Yeah, right on that point. Stay down. Hooked him outside the mouth. Lucky to get you. Unlucky for you. Bassy, bassy, bass. Not in the boat yet. All right. Good job, Donnie. Good fish. Pretty fish. All right, so Donnie and I are going to try and wrap up the day catching speckled trout. We got a good number of fish in the box. I'm definitely happy with our success, given our severe handicap today, having no trolling motor. So it's also going to hurt us to catch these trout because we just have to go at the mercy of the wind and try and line up a good transect. Just let the wind blow us, see if we can catch any fish. So that's what we're going to do, make a few passes, hopefully get a trout or two, and then we're going to call it a day. Not going to go home with our tail between our legs because we definitely put a lot of fish in the boat. There we go. There we go. Feels trout like? Good trout, good trout. Good trout, real good trout. Good job, man. We wanted one, we got one. That's a good trout. So I know there are some of you out there who regularly catch fish without the benefit of a trolling motor. And let me tell you, my hat's off to you. It definitely makes things way more challenging. And to be honest, I'm not very good at it. I'm not used to it. I can't wait to have my trolling motor back. As soon as I get home, I'm heading out, getting some more batteries and swapping these out. It's just that important to me. Got Christmas Eve and Christmas coming up. Won't be fishing those days, so those batteries will get nice and charged. Well, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, you know what to do. Give it a thumbs up. Also subscribe to the Marsh Man Masson channel on YouTube. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you know whenever we post. And leave a comment in the comment section. Do you fish without a trolling motor? If you do, give me some of your best tips for having success. And until next time, if we don't see you in the marsh, we'll see you right here on Marsh Man Masson.